amazing customer stories that we were sharing at Learning Tech just a couple of weeks ago. We do these webinars after every learning technology, as most of the learning technologies for Thrive and many vendors are slightly chaotic. We left with 1,300 plus conversations with different organizations looking to transform learning, and we didn't get the chance to speak to them all. So today what we want to do is just run through the product very high level, share how some different customers, Avon, Volvo, Vodafone, and lots of other amazing brands are leveraging Thrive. And really just to talk about what all the fuss is about. There was lots of excitement and energy about Thrive where we had our customer power hour. So today I just want to walk through that a little bit. So to begin with, I'm just going to share my screen and let's get into it. So I'm just going to click present. Here we go. So let's begin with a bit of a recap. So learning technologies, I think the theme for the event was obviously AI, and every vendor seemed to have AI plastered on their stand. It was the talk of the show for the right or the wrong reasons, perhaps. There's lots of different applications that we're seeing. And of course, at Thrive, we're pushing the boundaries on AI as well. But beyond that, for us, it was all about impact and customers really wanting to see what ROI looks like and return on investment, and how do we prove the impact of learning beyond likes, views, shares, and comments in platforms like that. So for us this year, we want to do something slightly different. So actually, we brought together 20 different customers in our lovely customer lounge that you can see here. And we actually got them to share their stories. So for an hour on day one, we had 20 different customers walking through their sites, their journeys, how they use the solution, and all of the salespeople left the stand. And we got asked by so many different customers, people that we know in the industry, how did we actually make that happen? And to be honest, it's just really simple. We just asked them. We didn't do anything special. We've just got lots of amazing customers that are really passionate about what we do and how we're helping impact their journey. And they were walking through their app, walking through their solution, and speaking to lots of different organizations. There you can see Tammy at Avon on the left, sharing some stories with different customers of how they launched to 2 million users in 8 weeks, which was amazing to see. You've got Becky West, who seems to be on the stand all day pitching to people, who's from Ann Summers, who's had an amazing journey. And then on the far right, you've actually got Rob from Frasers Group chatting to Jackie from British Airways, who's another customer. And it was just really nice to see those collaborations come to life. So that's something that we'll definitely continue to do, connecting our customers to amazing people within the industry. So for those that don't know Thrive and haven't heard of us, we started just over 4 years ago, where we wanted to really disrupt the industry and change how people approach L&D. You know, we see lots of platforms that are just LXPs or LMSs or talent mobility platforms where they manage skills, but we really wanted to bring everything together in one single platform. So now we have over 350 customers globally. We partner with some amazing brands around the world. We've got a heavy presence in the UK, but we support customers globally from APAC through to North America. And really what we're doing, like I said, is combining it into one single solution. So at the heart of it is the kind of learning experience side, very much focused around personalization. Yes, we do have AI making recommendations, but also driving social learning within the platform to really reinforce that style of community and sharing of best practice. At the heart of the platform is our learning management system. So this is all about managing compliance, mandatory training, events, and then running all the reporting around that. So our customers will be switching off more traditional LMS platforms and launching Thrive as a replacement to that. Increasingly, around kind of March 2020, when COVID came around, lots of our customers started to push us to use this for communication. So in fact, now we have lots of our customers leveraging us for internal communication, switching off their intranets and hosting policies, procedures, the latest news, all the way through to doing live streams with their leadership teams on a weekly basis, fully integrated into the platform. Of course, skills is and continues to be a really hot topic in the rise of kind of upskilling and reskilling across large organizations. So within Thrive, we actually have a skills tool which people can work towards a series of skills. Goals can be assigned to people as well. And recently we announced that we have a new chief products officer. Kareen's joined us, who has some amazing experience from her time at LinkedIn, Degreed, and other organizations. So we're really going to start to push the boundaries in terms of skills, coaching and mentoring, and all of those types of things to help organizations manage that. And then lastly, content. So Thrive is very much known for its platform ability, but we do have an amazing content team who are producing off-the-shelf content, compliance content, and we have a service that wraps around that to build additional content for people as well. So what we really want to do though is prove impact. So over the last kind of 12 months, we've been very working closely with customers to prove business impact. At Learning Technologies back in November, our customers won a series of awards, and some is winning the best use of learning data analytics, where they demonstrating an increase in sales and strike rate in retail, which is amazing. Rob and the team at Vodafone won best platform implementation because they reduced customer complaint scores, their customer NPS went up, and the impact of that solution across 14,000 people has been astronomical. And then finally, Terry and the team at Vonage, who are using the platform for sales enablement and are doing some amazing things, integrating Credly and badges into the platform, got silver for Organization of the Year. So when it comes to learning technologies and bringing our customers together, the reason that we are able to do that is because such amazing partnerships with them. We provide them with dedicated data analysts to really prove the ROI and business impact. So it moves way more than just a vendor and customer relationship. We're really acting as that kind of true partner to all of our customers. So that's just a little quick insight into the learning technology recap, what all the fuss was about. And I guess for the next kind of 15 minutes to 20 minutes or so, I want to jump into the platform and just give everybody a high level walkthrough of some of the core capabilities of Thrive. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. We'll keep that monitored, and we'll work through as many questions as we can as and when they arise. So this is a landing page here. What we've done is built out an experience where you can start to see what a learner might see when they first log into the platform. There's a high level of personalization to this, with campaigns running based on specific audiences that you're a part of, able to see your mandatory training in one single place with reminders and due dates, that type of thing, anything that has recurrence associated to it. Moving down, you've got your recommendations, where you can be recommended content based on your skills, your behavior, and your job role. We've got an amazing team of AI engineers that are really pushing the boundaries now when it comes to AI and machine learning. Nila Fouad, our head of AI, is an absolute genius, and she's doing amazing things from her experience at Dyson, where she lived machine learning, bringing that into Thrive. So we're really excited about that. Moving down, what you can see is events. So we're still managing all those kind of classroom booking style events where people can sign up to the latest event, integrates with calendars, and you can also go live and stream within the platform. We've actually embedded Twitch, which is the global gaming streaming platform, into Thrive, so you can do those all in one single place, as well as the ability to connect with experts within the organization based on skills. So that's something that we're really passionate about here at Thrive, which is we don't want to connect people just to great content. Of course, that's important, but we also want to connect people to great experts across the organization that can help you level up your skills. So that's just one example of how an experience might look like. If I go into some different customer platform sites as well, I'll just share that for some inspiration. One is Deciem. They're a skincare retailer, nearly 2,000 employees, operate in 15 different markets. They were actually one of our first customers. So they're using the platform for learning, communication, and knowledge sharing. At the top of the page, we can see their CEO and founder, Nicola, is posting out videos. They're hosting their town halls. They've integrated deeply LinkedIn Learning, where it fully embeds and tracks all of that courses into there. We do have partnerships with LinkedIn, Go1, Udemy, Open Sesame, etc., to embed that content into the platform. The ability to quickly filter based on different topics across the organization, from coaching and mentoring and goal setting, to really cut through the noise and find exactly what you want to see. Through to celebrations and competitions that run throughout the platform as well, to really drive engagement. So we're not just pushing content at people, we're really creating that pull environment as well. One of the customers that I'm really excited to be working with is Avon. So Avon are a really iconic skincare brand. They have over 2 million reps who aren't employees. They just sell their skincare products globally. And they deployed in just over 8 weeks to all of those millions of reps. They did that in 51 languages, 30 different markets. And they're really doing some exciting things to push out product training, updates, the latest recommendations, joining those events, and really democratizing knowledge sharing by getting their best reps to share all of those amazing insights so that other reps can drive revenue and create an income for themselves. And we think that's probably one of the largest learning platform implementations been in recent times. Sam and the team did an amazing job to get that live in such a short window. But it shows in 8 weeks going live to that many users, importing and migrating content as well at the same time. If I go to a different experience, from like Vodafone, we mentioned they won that award at Learning Technology, where they really proved business impact. They're using this across retail and customer service centers. They're pushing out campaigns for different product ranges to really drive and reinforce those habits and the behaviors of their salespeople in retail environments. Through to Ann Summers. I'll be careful when I navigate this site. Becky West, who leads learning there, always reminds me to do so. But here we can see we can filter based on time. So I've got 2 minutes, 5 to 10, 15, etc., which is really powerful features and functionality to enable people who are very time poor just to get to the piece of content they need to get to based on the time they have to dedicate to it. So that's a really nice way of using the time feature within Thrive to make that happen. Some other examples, and then we'll get into some of the more meaty functionality, should we say, around the LMS style, is Vonage. So Vonage are owned by Ericsson, telecommunications and technology company, using this for their sales audiences. They've done some amazing work to have badges within here, so you can boost your sales skills. And as you can see here, with the integration with Credly, people would get a badge based on their different interactions with the platform as well. I'm just going to pause there. Andrew, you've asked a great question. What support do you offer in terms of implementation? 8 weeks to 2 million users in monumental effort. Yeah, so you get a large team supporting all of our customers, implementation consultants, project managers, data analysts, marketing support to create all the amazing assets that you see within the platform as well. There's a really structured implementation process. Our average implementation time is actually 12 weeks. Some customers have a more compelling event, shall we say, to get live in a certain time frame. So we probably wouldn't recommend 8 weeks. I'm pretty sure Sam and Tammy at Avon would also not recommend 8 weeks themselves, but they made it happen. So you can definitely do it. It's a SaaS platform. It's very quick to deploy, easy to integrate with the wider technology stack. Because the technology we're using is 4 or 5 years old, we're not built upon an archaic infrastructure like some of the LMS providers might be, who were built 15, 20 years ago. So it allows us to deploy features quick, roll out features and integrations quickly to our customers as well. And like I said, of course, there was lots of amazing work by our implementation teams on that. But the big bit was really the amazing customers pulling together, driving forward to go live in that time frame. But as I said, probably wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably work towards 12 weeks in the future. So that's just a recap on some of those different sites and the user experiences that you can see. A real core part of the platform is pathways. So pathways is where you can create experiences. These can be blended programs. It could be compliance training. In this example on the screen, we've got an onboarding experience. You can lock pathways down. So you can say start at A, then move to B, then C, etc. A pathway can have any style of content within it. You could have a video, you could have a SCORM course, you could have an event. It could be a variety of styles of content. And you can also add a level of assessment at the end of that to test knowledge and competency as well. Once these pathways have been assigned to people, of course, we have all the functionality like recurrence, if it recurs annually or every 2 years, or in some cases every 5 years. And then what you can do as an L&D function is track all of the compliance around that. You can filter on different audiences, get visibility on who's completed it, who hasn't. Export that into things like CSV and Excel if you wish to do so. Managers, of course, would also get lots of visibility of their teams. I can see my direct team here at Thrive today, as well as my indirect reports, where I get a compliance snapshot, a leaderboard based on who's engaged, any overdue content, that type of thing, and also getting a compliance timeline in terms of what's overdue, due soon, and upcoming from my team. So managers are getting weekly digests and these kind of live dashboards to really visualize what's happening, not just from a compliance and mandatory training perspective, but also from the more informal things like just general engagement, goal setting, etc. So pathways for us, super critical. Every one of our customers use them. They're usually displayed at the front page when you first log in, where it might say your mandatory training. Of course, that can all be edited. You could call it something else. You could call it, your courses or whatever it needs to be. It can use your language, your tone of voice, etc. within the platform as well. So that's pathways and a little bit of reporting. Linked to that is events. So events for us are a core part of the platform. People can sign up to them based upon their audience membership. You would integrate it with your calendars. You would get pre-learning attached to that as well. So this is a way for all of our customers to manage any events that happen, whether they be virtual or face-to-face. Of course, pathways can sit within events as well. So you can create those true experience where you might access some online training, but then jump into an event. So you can really manage those longer programs. Recently, we've seen some amazing examples of that with Vonage, who I talked about earlier, where they're rolling out these longer sales programs, all the way through to Frasers Group, who've deployed their commercial acceleration program, where this is kind of a 12-week, much longer program as well. So pathways are a great way to do that. Just going to pause there again for questions. Isabel's asked a question. I would like to know if AI use is right now for recommendations based on employees' interests, or is it based on closing gaps required for each employees? I want to know if you have support in Spanish. So the Spanish question is yes, we operate in 51 different languages. Spanish is a core part of the platform. You can change the user interface. So you can change the language into your chosen languages. So you can see here, if I just go onto this page here, I can say some of the languages that are enabled: Italian, Spanish, French, etc. So that's really simple to do. Users can change their interface. They can translate videos. So we have automatic translation where you upload a video into English, and then it will create automatic subtitles in those different languages for you. You can translate the comments based on your language and automatically translate articles as well. From an AI perspective, there are kind of two main ways in which we're leveraging AI right now. So I was going to do this a little bit later on, Isabel, but as you've asked now, I may as well jump straight into it. So we're focusing on content development. So we've been working hard with our engineers to allow people to upload a PDF, and it will deconstruct that PDF and build out an experience. So take a 1,000-page PDF or 10,000 word PDF, shall we say, and you can upload that into there. It will deconstruct it. I can click generate a course. I'm going to say build me a course on sales engineering at a SaaS company. Create an article and create a quiz off the back of it. And the language learning model here would get to work and build that for us. So the idea here is that we're plugging in different language learning models. The one I'm showing you here is based on ChatGPT for Turbo, but it could be Anthropic, it could be Bedrock, it could be a variety of different LLMs. We've been quite agnostic when it comes to our use of AI. Lots of companies might have banned across, like OpenAI, across the organization. So we're not placing all our bets on one vendor because of the kind of nervousness around some of those AI tools in organizations. So this one is based on Bedrock. What it's going to do now is get to work on actually building me a course on sales engineering. As you can see, we wanted to apply the ability to edit, so you've got full control over what's produced. The idea is that it's going to give you 80 to 90% of the content. You can go in, you can edit it, make some changes. At the bottom, we've done some brilliant integrations. I could add a Google Doc or a form or a slide deck, add YouTube videos, generate additional text as well as images in there. And it's also created the quiz for me as well. From there, once we've built it, you can click preview. You can see how it actually looks. Obviously, I've not built it out for the purpose of today, but you get the idea. I click quiz, see how that all operates. And then we can translate it into those language. So Isabel, you mentioned Spanish. If I click on Spanish there, it would get to work translating that. Now, we wanted to go a step further with the AI tool. So, of course, we have the translation of the actual text itself. But what the engineering team wanted to do is actually incorporate translation for audio. So we have an audio experience here. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the StreamYard, but you get the idea where you have the audio experience for different sections as well. So this is the type of thing that we're using AI for right now, is to help L&D teams build content faster than ever before. We're not saying this is going to be the finished article when you produce some content, but it's going to save a lot of time in terms of the production of the content. We're also doing lots of exciting things with WhatsApp, where we're building an integrated coach with WhatsApp, where you can prompt it with questions, and the language learning model would learn about the data within your Thrive platform and give you answers back on that. So treat it a bit of as a coach in your pocket who you can prompt it for questions. So that's some of the areas of AI that we're currently working with. I'm just going to address some of the other questions because I want to make sure we get through them all. Can the leaderboards be public for a gamification piece? So every employee would have badges within the platform that they would get access to. So here you get your achievements. Achievements are things like points and badges based on different styles of interactions with Thrive. These currently aren't customizable. We are adding in some customization features for badging towards the end of the year. But right now, badges and leaderboards are very much centered around your team itself. They're not public for the whole organization. That's not something that our customers really ask us for too much. It's very much centered around the team experience as well. Hope that answers your question, Lauren. And then Daniel, you've asked about events and the integration to Outlook. So yeah, basically how it works is if I have an event on my homepage here, I would sign up to it. It would send me the invite into my calendar with the date, location, the link if it's a Hangout, a Teams meeting, a Zoom meeting, etc. You can do that as well. Lots of customers associated to the events would use the broadcast feature, as I mentioned earlier. So this is where you can actually go live. So I'm going to go live on a LinkedIn Live, which is a bit weird, but I'm just going to say going live here, use camera, give it an awkward selfie, click create broadcast, and now I could go stream directly inside Thrive. So our customers are doing this on a weekly basis. I saw Avon do some brilliant live streams recently to thousands of users, which is really cool. But we can also do this for communication. It could be a CEO update, for example, that type of thing. On the right-hand side, we have live polls and messaging, so we can do quick pulse checks, live messages on the right, as well as reactions to that as well. And then once that meeting has ended, we can leave that and we can start to structure it into the explore section. So the explore section is where you can build a hub for different styles of content. It could be those recent recordings for events. It could be battle cards. It could be policies, procedures. This is a glimpse of how Vodafone use it right now, where you've got different categories and folder structures to actually use that platform. Hopefully that answered your question. So alongside the pathways events, a core feature for us is the campaign feature. So if I go back to this, click on that campaign banner at the front, the campaign feature, it allows you to really reinforce the idea of spaced repetition. You launch a campaign for a whole month, for example, and on Monday, you're going to share this video. On Tuesday, you're going to share something else. So really reinforcing and nudging people back into the platform. We can see some customers, as I showed earlier, like Avon doing monthly product features, which is really cool. Vodafone doing it around Samsung devices to really incentivize people to do that as well. So we're really seeing that this is a great way to drive people back into the platform. We give our customers lots of deep analytics around user behavior in the platform. So this gives our L&D teams insights into what time people actually use the platform. Too many times, L&D teams will build a piece of content on an experience. They'll upload it to the LMS when they're ready to upload it to the LMS with no understanding of what time people are using it, if they're ever going to go to it, that type of thing. So with Thrive now, they have this data, which is more like marketing data. So now we can actually select a specific audience and see the optimum time for engagement, for example, Wednesday at 11, and release that content to people. So just acting like marketing teams in B2B and B2C environments do anyway, let's bring that into L&D to drive more engagement. So that's how campaigns are used alongside data. Just going to pause there because Karen's asked a question. Does the platform offer any features on performance management or connect to any platforms that do? So yeah, we have lots of integration partners. If I just type here, we have lots of integration partners. We have middleware from a company called Merge, where we can build lots of different styles of integrations. Our typical integrations are with like HRIS systems, your Workdays, your SAPs, your HiBobs, etc. Many of our customers might also use tools like CultureAmp or Lattice and these types of things. So we can always explore these kind of integrations two-way, both provisioning of data and sending it back to performance management tools if we need to do. For a lot of our customers, they might have skills platforms in place. So rather than actually using our skills functionality, which we have inside the platform that you can see on the screen, they'll actually integrate skills from an existing platform where it's been built. We don't want to kind of just rip up lots of technology if it's been built and it's leveraged and used really successfully in other platforms. So we'll tend to integrate as much as we can with those. So from our perspective, we don't have a kind of end-to-end performance management or 360 reviews in the platform today. It's very much centered around kind of goal setting and skill management, but wouldn't link to a kind of more broader path for kind of performance management itself. That being said, you can assign goals to people very easily. So I could jump into a goal here in Thrive and say, present our new AI features. I'm going to say it contributes to a specific skill like product knowledge. I'm going to say it needs to be completed by the end of the month. I'm going to add it to all of my team or perhaps one. And I'm going to assign some tasks around that as well. So I could say, do a demo video of AI features in Thrive, if I can type. And I'm going to assign that to people. I'm going to say upload some evidence. And that task has been assigned to people. They'd be notified. They'd upload a video demonstrating their understanding of that, and I provide coaching and feedback against it. So there are some features to support that kind of performance development. It's just not full-blown performance management inside the platform itself. Okay, let's go into a few more other areas. Something that customers have really been loving recently is our integration with Google, so our browser extension. So this is kind of learning in the flow of work and bringing content to where people are. So for example, if I do a search on, let's say, how to, for example, on Google, which is naturally one of our biggest competitors from a learning development perspective, on the right-hand side, what you can see is all of that content that's been discovered and found within your Thrive environment. So if I click onto it, it would take me directly to that piece of content. So we have the similar integrations with Microsoft Teams and Slack, where we're bringing content to Thrive into the places that people actually spend a lot of their time. So that's something that we're really passionate about and working harder and harder on to build these kind of levels of integrations with the wider ecosystem across the organization. I think next we'll talk about analytics in a bit more detail because that's still super important for a lot of our customers. So as mentioned, you have different styles of analytics. You have compliance, where you can visualize compliance records that have been assigned. It's mandatory training across the organization. Second, we have user behavior. So that's the time feature, which are linked to campaigns to understand when to release content to people. And then you have content engagement in terms of views, likes, shares, but also starting to make correlations in terms of what styles of content are performing best. And also, how are people actually discovering content? In this case, at Deciem, 36% of all content is found via notifications, 29% through search. So this really enables our customers just to flex and change their content strategy based upon the data that they're seeing. A lot of traditional LMSs don't give you this level of data and insight. So it makes it really hard to kind of design experiences and programs based on what's happening in the organization. One of the things that our customers are absolutely loving at the minute, and it does link back to all of these awards that we've won with customers, is us providing dedicated data analysts to our customers. So we were one of the first vendors in the LMS and LXP space to do this. The idea is that a lot of L&D teams today do not have a data analyst within their L&D function. Some might have that luxury, many don't. So what we do at Thrive is we have an impact service. You get a dedicated data analyst who's an expert in learning analytics and proving impact. And you also get a dedicated marketing resource who can build amazing assets, resources, videos, tiles, etc., to make sure that your site looks really beautiful and on point. So those two things combined allow us to build dashboards like the one on the screen. All of this data, by the way, is retracted. It's not real live data. This is using Power BI, but we also work with tools like Domo, Looker, etc., to visualize data in a more meaningful way. This is based on skills. Bally's one of our customers, where you can see skills across the organization. You could also look at a bit deeper and go into user skills specifically. So here I can see like where are our experts on change management or auditing, and it starts to visualize that data in a more meaningful way. Some of the best examples I've seen of this, where we've built dashboards for customers, is where we're bringing in sales data alongside the learning data to really prove business impact and any correlations against the learning that we're deploying to the business and the impact it's having on those KPIs. So one of the first workshops that we ever run with our customers is a success workshop. What is success? And we're not talking about get the platform live, get people logging in, viewing, completing stuff. We're talking about what are the KPIs that are important to the business. It could be attrition, retention, customer service, NPS, whatever it may look like. And we build the platform, design it in that way to drive against those KPIs. And each quarter, your analyst will provide you with a really detailed summary and report to make recommendations of how you can improve on that as well. So there's lots that we can do from an analytics perspective. And then just to wrap up, really, I want to talk a little bit about content. So as many people came to Learning Tech saw, we had two stands. We had our large platform stand with a cocktail bar and the DJ and all those types of things. And then we had a second stand for content. And the reason we did that is we have so much demand for our content solutions, which can be purchased standalone. So this is very different to a LinkedIn, a GoOne, a Udemy, etc., where they're offering tens of thousands of courses, very high quality, usually piece to camera stuff like that. This is short, sharp, 10-minute pieces of content, 1,000 courses currently in our library, covering topics like well-being, ED&I, leadership, customer service, sales, etc. It's all built in-house. And we also then provide the pathways for our customers too. So we build these pathways. I could find one on, let's say, dealing with change. And our team have already built out all of the objectives, all the course structures, and you can drop that into the platform. And then alongside that, we've already created the campaign structure from January to December with all the big initiatives that are happening around the world. So for example, if I go into Stress Awareness Month, that could just be dropped into the platform. And as you can see at the top of the page, that campaign banner could say International Stress Awareness Month, that type of thing. So we're kind of at that outsourced L&D function for you, producing great styles of content. And we also map content and build additional resources for all of our customers. So if one of our customers came to us today and says, you don't have a module on X, can you build it? We'd go away and build that and put that into the platform. And that would become freely available to all of our other customers as well. So it's really more of a service than just producing standalone content itself. So we're going to start to wrap up. We've done half an hour there. I'm not sure if there's any final questions. I'm just going to double check the chat. If not, we'll start to we'll start to wrap up. I'm just checking. Always a bit awkward at the end. Final questions. No more questions. Cool. And I guess look, some other things just very quickly to wrap up if we've got a minute. Pricing and being transparent is super important to us. I think you wouldn't find many LMS or LXP vendors that have the pricing on the website. It's something that we push lots of our competitors to do because we think it should be really transparent when you're buying solutions like this. If you head to our website, click on how many users you have, 3,000 to 5,000, the price is there straight away. We're really clear in terms of what you get and what you don't get. With Thrive, it's not modular, so it's not you're buying certain modules. The price you pay, you get access to everything, and then you can turn things off or on. So our pricing is on the website. We're not hiding behind that. If you go to that, you don't have to speak to a salesperson. You get the price straight away, which we know is really important for people. One of the things that's been really interesting at Learning Technologies is the talk around migration as well. So for us, migration, we've actually built a service around that where we automate the migration of content, user history, and completion data. And we've done this for some really large customers now where we migrate all of that content for you as a service to help you switch over. Moving from an LMS shouldn't be a painful experience. It doesn't have to be. But I think we've all been scarred in the past by those experiences. So now we're starting to use technology more to our advantage to automate a lot of that migration experience. And we've done that recently for some really large customers. Cornerstone, Docebo, Fuse, etc. have all migrated across lots of customers from those vendors as well. So if there's no more questions, I'm going to leave it there. For us at Thrive, the next few weeks are quite busy. We've got ATD in New Orleans. We've got Unleash in Vegas next week, which is quite exciting. There's some really exciting webinars coming with Helen Marshall, Karina, our Chief Products Officer, and Nilafwar, our Head of AI. So you should come check that out. There's lots of white papers, that type of thing. So you'll be hearing lots about us in the coming weeks, lots more noise, lots more stories to share. And if you have any more questions to us, please do reach out. See you soon.